Setting up your meeting for Facebook Live.
Yeah, we're live. I can see it.
We're there. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to go back over here. So now I'm actually looking at Zoom, looking at you, and we're live on Dinner Table Talks right now. I'm looking at you on the other side of the room, by the way.
I'm looking at you on the other side of the room. In fact, there you are.
So I have this, listen, welcome to the dinner table. This is a special mini episode. We're just popping it up real quick. If you're on, fun. If you're not, whatever. I needed to create a test situation because I have pulled together a group that's called Voices for Wellness. And it's a group of people that believe in holistic wellness and mind, body, spirit, and diet and health, nutrition, and different types of supplements and all of the things. And it's us talking about what we're doing to stay as well as possible. And the idea was that I would start by doing some interviews. And in order to do interviews with Corona timing and all the timing, how do we figure out how to do that? And so I'm learning how to use live streaming devices, and Joe's helping me out.
And I was told we're doing this.
Right. Well, I said I needed your help. And so we decided that after dinner tonight that we would pull up to Zoom and try this concept out where I'm on Zoom, but we're also live on Facebook right now.
And oh, what a dinner it was, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
You gave one criteria, and that is I don't want to eat at 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm done eating at 10 o'clock. I'm not eating at 11 o'clock. We're not eating past 10 o'clock anymore.
So then Hunter, my son, said, hey, I think my girlfriend's coming over tonight. And we had been talking about dinner. So it's like, okay, well, let's do those T-bones that are out in the garage freezer. Because in case you're not listening to the podcast every week, rule number one is get yourself a garage freezer. Although right. Freezers are hard to come by right now.
Is that still true?
I don't know. Maybe they've caught up to production. But at the beginning of Corona, of course, everybody was
everybody's a prepper all of a sudden.
Right, getting their prepper on. And step number one, you get yourself a garage freezer. But out in the garage freezer were some T-bones that I'd picked up at the farmer's market. And I said, here's our meat options. And of course, you've been putting away some black-eyed peas.
Yeah, I have lots of black-eyed peas. And I don't know, I was feeling a little need for something carby tonight. So I called for a twice-baked potato. And the only thing that came out of the garden in that was chives.
Did you notice that the twice-baked potatoes were not what you were expecting when they were served?
They were not what I was expecting at all.
Let me tell you what happened.
Giant bowl of mashed potatoes with goo on top.
Let me tell you what happened. that mashed potato and goo would have been inside a potato skin, the way that you eat twice-baked potatoes. And I went to cut the potatoes in half and then begin to scoop out the middle, and then you mix it up with all of your things that go into a twice-baked potato. Then you restuff those stuffed skins. You know, everyone knows that. When I cut the potato in half, the skin just fell apart. So like I can't.
Thin-skinned?
Yeah, I don't know if they weren't overcooked, but it wasn't a rigid half of a potato in order to, like a boat to fill up. So I just decided, all right, let's put it into a casserole.
A suggested idea, excuse me.
Since we're doing a test, we're kind of testing some audio and video things, and you're playing over there and making sure you understand all the buttons. I'm hearing myself talk into your microphone.
Well, one of the things we could do is that I could get a lav mic.
You need a lav mic. In fact, since we're doing a test.
I actually have one over there, but then where do I plug it in at?
Mine is a USB input. So
I probably need that dongle over there.
Okay. Well, hold on. What lav mic are you talking about?
It's one that Joel from Dagon Produce. You've heard about him on the podcast. Delicious farm to table delivery.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll just vamp while she's gone.
He loaned me some little lav mic things.
What's the input?
So if I had it, it's that thing, whatever that is.
A headphone jack.
Yeah. So if I had a dongle, that would work, right?
You need USB input. And
well, I have a jack hole. I have a jack hole.
Show me your jack hole.
I can. It's on the computer.
You have a headphone input?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that's not going to work for audio. That's an audio out.
Oh, okay. I understand now.
Yeah. That lav with that would go into your, I guess it would go into
It goes into my phone when I do
cell
my phone.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Try it. Can't kill anything.
So, okay. So the dongle over there connected to the normal devices we use.
Plug that into your headphone jack. See what happens.
Well, then I won't be able to hear myself anymore.
Oh, okay. Your headphones are on your ears.
Dongle.
Why are you coughing?
I think I have COVID.
That's not a funny joke.
I know it's not. You're right. The reason I have a cough is because there's mold in our house.
Wait, hold on. Listen.
What? I'm going to try this. The reason that I have a cough is because we have mold and mildew inside of our house.
So I had put the guts. That's no good.
But this one is.
No, I saw what you did. I knew that wasn't going to work.
But the little one will work.
So I put.
Sorry, everyone. I fixed it. I think I fixed it. Did I fix it? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. It just doesn't sound like you're talking into a microphone.
Well, it might not be a very good microphone.
This is ideally what you want. It's just it goes into the USB of your computer, and there's your mic.
Where did you get that one from?
One of my co-hosts from Beer and a Movie.
Well, then we have it. We have another one. We have a different one of these because Joel, there were two different ones. One that had a little like.
I don't think that microphone is picking up your voice.
Okay, that's fine.
No, that microphone's not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know why. I can tell you exactly why. Hold on. Unplug that. Plug it back in. Then when the thing comes up, then I need to click on something different.
This is the most boring dinner table talks video that anyone could ever watch.
Your default microphone has changed to jack mic.
But no.
I'm in your microphone.
I can hear your voice underneath my headphones. That microphone's not going yet.
Then we're going to go back to the way we were.
Yeah, and that's what the feedback is.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
There's some things that we have to figure out.
So I took the guts of the potatoes and mixed it with the things that I had prepared to mix them with. Butter, Greek yogurt, posing as sour cream, hand-cut.
Why do you use Greek yogurt again?
Why do we use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream?
Yeah, I think we talked about this on one of the podcasts recently.
Because after you do it 2 or 3 times, you do not recognize a flavor difference. And of course, Greek yogurt is chock full of probiotics.
Man.
And other healthy guts.
Gut health.
Cheese and then chives from your garden. Thank you very much.
I did cut some chives. I need to grow better chives. I think I just need to grow more chives. I think I purchased some seeds, some chive seeds.
How How did you get the chives that you cut today?
I went outside and cut them.
Did you grow them from seed?
I did not. I purchased them as a little
Okay.
plant from the nursery.
Right.
So I'm looking over here.
And then we had a guest at the dinner table tonight. I'm just going to talk and vamp while you do your thing.
Yeah, do that.
Hunter's girlfriend was over, and we got the lowdown on her like complete career trajectory, which was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. We had a nice little conversation.
She's got big plans for her life.
She's got plans, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, I didn't have those kind of plans when I was her age. I think what I said was, there are a few things that you make plans for, and then the rest, you kind of let it evolve. But we had a conversation about politics, though. That was interesting.
No fighting, though.
No, absolutely not. Of course not. Not like we would fight with our 17-year-old girlfriend of our son.
Well, I was just referencing the most recent episode where we brought those fights into the whole, well, we brought them home, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do that again.
It's no fun.
I'm just going to put my hand up and say, you take that shit outside.
I was already outside.
Take that shit inside.
All right.
Did you do it? Did you get the testing done that you needed to do?
I think I did. Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit, since we have folks watching, about what next, this upcoming Monday's episode, some of the things that we talk about?
Sure. Help me remember. I've already drank 2 glasses of wine.
We talk about your problem with wine.
Oh, we do?
No.
Do I have a problem with wine?
We talk about, I will tell you what one of the 2 meals are. You know, of course, at the dinner table, we talk about our dinner table. And one of the 2 meals that we'll be talking about was taco meat, chips,
No,
beans.
that's not what we talked about. That was the episode's already gone.
The episode that's out right now is about nachos?
Uh-huh. The one that's coming up is about pizza and burgers.
Corona, man. What day is it? What episode is it? You're right. It was your basil burgers, and it was pizza night at the house.
Uh-huh.
And I can't believe we haven't talked about pizza night before, because pizza night is a
we
thing
have
that
talked
we
about
do.
Pizza night before, because because we did cauliflower pizza crust, because I don't do grain. So, I mean, I do grain. I ate cornbread tonight with my black-eyed peas, which, by the way, correct. If I haven't like hoorah'd your black-eyed peas, then you deserve hoorahing.
Thank you,
because black-eyed peas are one of my favorite foods of all times. Like, where other kids ate ramen in college, I ate cans of black-eyed peas. So to have fresh black-eyed peas that are coming out of the farm, out of the garden, and also from the farmer's market, that come inside, get cooked, hot chili paste added to them, fresh onions from the farmer's market, bacon from the farmer's market.
When I was 8 years old, my parents made me eat 8 black-eyed peas, 1 for each year of my age. And I threw the largest fit, and I remember even like vomiting after eating 5 or 6 black-eyed peas. I remember it. And from then on, my parents said, okay, forget the fight about black-eyed peas. We're not going to have that fight anymore. And I had demonized them in my mind, like throughout my entire life and into my adulthood. And then I'm sure when I was courting you, you said something along the lines of,
you courted me down the basketball court? Yeah,
I'd go out. You and I would sit on the front porch of your parents' home. They'd light the courting candle. And when it got down to the right side, you had to go back inside. The courting candle. It's a real thing. When I was courting you, the reason why courting you is important was because it needed to be established that we were in the courtship period. And you said, I love black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas are my favorite. Some version of what you just said like 35 seconds ago. And at that point, I was like, yeah, black-eyed peas are the best. Give me a big bowl. And I probably ate all of the black-eyed peas.
One of the first times we ever hung out together, you showed up at the house and I was cooking dinner for the kids.
Yes.
And
it was very bean oriented.
It must have been a Monday because that was back in the beginning stages of Meatless Monday when I was when I was trying really hard to teach this concept of you don't have to eat meat in every meal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would follow the consistency of the Meatless Monday. And so I had they were one of my favorite things to make. It was a vegetarian dish. It was black beans, sweet potatoes,
mm-hmm.
and that was cooked into like a chili.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put goat cheese, chev goat cheese on top of it. And it was in a corn tortilla. And then you put like your lettuce and tomato on top of it. So it's just a taco, a black bean sweet potato taco. And I was like, I'm cooking you dinner.
I walked in, it's beans and sweet potatoes. And I knew at that moment that I was going to have to change some things if we were going to hang. And I think I ate like probably 2 servings. Yeah, give me more of that, darling.
So good.
More black-eyed peas, please. And now, I think it's...
No, it wasn't black-eyed peas. It was black beans.
No, understood. But tonight, eating black-eyed peas, when they made me vomit at the age of 8 and eating it's... First of all, you do have to decide. I'm going to try something new and I'm going to be able to like it. To this day... I'm trying to think of a food that I just don't like, won't eat, can't stand it. Do you have something off the top of your mind?
That I won't eat grocery store chicken.
No. Forget assuming that
I might nibble on a piece of brisket that comes from the grocery store. Mm-hmm. I might squeeze past one little pepperoni on the pizza, but
my son is still being resistant. He's coming around, and I'm sure it has something to do with him. But
can't think.
I used to not eat black beans and sweet potato tacos, and now I do. What's the thing? I can't think of a vegetable that I wouldn't eat. I can't think of anything. Is there a consistency that you just can't stand? I don't really like the honeydew type melon, cantaloupe.
That's just because you haven't had good ones yet.
The texture of it. Of course I have.
Because the texture of a honeydew is exactly the same as the texture of a cantaloupe.
Exactly.
I don't like good one.
I don't like either cantaloupe of those.
Really?
I will eat them.
I didn't realize you didn't like cantaloupe.
I know
you don't like cucumber.
I don't dislike it. I just don't like it. Follow me?
Right.
To me,
then carrots is which is weird because I like praise carrots and grow carrots and buy carrots and eat carrots.
Well, I know that you really refuse to eat like cooked carrots, but you'll eat a raw carrot.
Sweet. Ugh. And I don't eat celery, although I love celery when it's cooked into things.
Celery, I like. We have the exact same opinion. I'll eat celery soup all day long, but I don't want to take a bite into that texture.
When you're biting the texture, when you're biting a celery stick, it doesn't have any flavor to me. But celery, when you I took the tops of the celery one year and all the seeds and everything and ground it up and made like celery powder.
Yeah, you have a lot of it in the cupboard.
It's so good for cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Well, it's a real concentrated flavor. Whenever I do celery, because I'll use celery for making a broth.
Uh-huh.
And you don't have to worry about stringing it the way that you might string celery before you cut it up for.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of break it in half, and poof, that aroma. It's a concentrated aroma, and just breaking it near your hands and putting it on there, you can smell the celery for a long time. The way that you can smell garlic on your fingers when you're preparing garlic for dinner. I love smelling my fingers. An hour after dinner when there's residual garlic. I love the smell of garlic, the taste of garlic.
I like to go like this.
You never do that. All right.
Is that it? Are you going to go make some beef broth now?
I think that if we stay on for another minute, we could figure out and get into some other kind of dinner table talk spontaneously. So really,
you think we're entertaining people now?
I think that I'm enjoying using this new medium, and I'm trying to concentrate looking at the camera rather than looking at myself.
I know that's the thing to learn, right?
Yeah,
and they tell you in all the like lessons where they're giving because while I was when the beginning of this thing started, I was the director of marketing for a large corporate healthcare company. And the shift came 4 months after I'd started my job with them. And then are you squishing my head back there? Oh my God.
I was. Let me get you off screen because that's distracting.
My point is I had to take 8 billion classes and watch a bunch of YouTube webinars, not YouTube, but Zoom, on what are we going to do now? And so they were teaching you, like, I'm supposed to take my glasses off because
I can see the reflection of your screen in your glasses, right?
And I'm not supposed to look at myself, but I'm so good to look at that it's hard not to look at myself.
Well, when I'm looking down here, I'm not looking at myself. I'm looking at you, baby. And I can still squish your head right here.
I need art back there.
I can't scratch my face and my nose and play with my beard. I probably shouldn't be drinking anything while I'm...
Certainly a glass of wine.
But then I noticed that I do that thing where it's time to go get a beard trim, but I don't want to go get a beard trim. And I don't want to do it myself because the last time I did it was New Year's Eve. And I was like, let me just give myself a... I was like, oh, crap. Remember, I can't...
This is what I tried to do in the podcast. Yeah, when you hear the podcast on Monday, we try to put masks on and talk. But then my glasses got so fogged up, I was having a hard time with it.
Well, why are you putting that on now?
I don't know, because it was there.
Okay, I think we're done. Okay. Now, do you need to experiment how to get out of the video graciously and without being too distracting to the audience?
Probably. Are there still people on over here? There's 8 people on, Joe.
8 people?
They like us. They really, really like us. They probably all of a sudden it went from 8 to 1 when I put a mask on my face.
Yeah, well, they're here for the show.
Well, one thing we could do is we could put some artwork back there.
Certainly.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah.
Anything else interesting about dinner tonight?
Well, and we need to name some of the ways that we tell stories, because sometimes it's a long story with big gaps in it, and then you get back to the story. We haven't named that yet, but I'm going to do that now.
I think you should just call it Chasing Rabbits, because that's what we've always called it. Do you remember when you used to put...
And we're off.
Forks and salt.
I've got to scratch my nose so bad.
I can hear myself clapping in your microphone.
Yeah, I can hear you talking in my microphone.
Well, one thing is I won't be in the same room with Tim when I interview him. So that will help. Certainly.
I meant to, you were telling a story. Salt and pepper, something?
Oh, yeah. So when we were first dating, and we would go to lunch or dinner or whatever, and we would be talking, and we'd be talking and talking and talking, and we'd talk about this and we'd talk about that, and it would chase this rabbit hole and this rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah. Salt and pepper. I haven't thought about this in a long time.
You would set salt and pepper and then the fork and the knife, and you would say, like, okay, so don't forget, this is the story about the tabby cat on the front porch, and this is the story about dinner with the girlfriend, and this is the story about our favorite wine we're drinking right now, and so we're going to move through this fork to get to, we're going to come back to used to do that, like,
I remember
create a diagram with forks and knives and salt and pepper. You were such a you were putting on a performance for me right there at the dinner table.
Yeah, and then I told you that the thing that you love the most, you'll hate the most someday. So Let me get you back to the fork. I went to cut the potatoes. They completely fell apart. I wouldn't be able to create a twice baked potato. So I took all the guts, mixed it in with that sour cream, a la Greek yogurt, the cheese, the chives, the bacon bits that I had fried up earlier, the butter, milk, mix it all up. And I just put it into a casserole dish, put the cheese on top. That was our twice baked potato. It did resemble a mashed potato when it wasn't in the half of a potato boat.
It was like the baked mashed potatoes you get at some places.
They weren't horrible. They weren't great.
No, they were good. I enjoyed it. They met all my carby needs. I had some carby needs. So
and you've got leftovers to enjoy tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So tomorrow, and we'll talk. I know we'll talk about this on the podcast. But tomorrow we're going out to buy the seafood for a seafood boil celebration, which has become kind of a regular thing for us, seafood boil celebrations, because my daughter turns 16 on Sunday.
Yes, tomorrow I'll go to a local seafood place to pick up crab and scallops. Did you say shrimp?
Yeah, crab, shrimp, scallops. Exactly that. 2 different kinds of crab, though.
That will sit.
Or one kind. We don't have to get 2 different kinds.
That will sit on ice until the birthday party on Sunday. The birthday party consisting of our family and maybe Jessica. And my friends can't come.
Only Jessica.
And then maybe I'll go live at the seafood shop tomorrow.
Huh. That'd be fun. That's a good idea.
I mean, every week you can see the numbers and you can see the statistics of I don't know how they gather the location statistics, probably IP, and you can see that we're more and more states listening, more and more cities in different states listening.
Oh, you're talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Because I thought you were talking about Corona numbers, and I was like, dude, I'm done.
Yeah. Click.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the podcast and how every week we can see growth, and I think it might be interesting for us to capture a live of some of that live seafood that we talk about, or rather a live of this local seafood that we talk about.
Sure.
Because if I'm going to get seafood for a seafood boil, let's go to the local shop.
Although I don't think that they're getting.
No, the Dungeness and the snow crab clearly isn't from here, but the shrimp would be Gulf, certainly.
I have a hard time not looking. I'm supposed to be looking at you, but I'm looking at myself the whole time. Like, there I am.
Some people solve that by minimizing the screen. It's not even an option for you to look.
I know we can't. I have to, because we're doing the live on Facebook and we're recording it. We both have to be on the screen.
Okay. Why don't you wrap it up with like a fun plug for how to get a hold of us and all that fun stuff?
Okay. You caught me off guard. Very simple. You can find the website, dinnertabletalks.com.
Let me stop you. Now on the Zoom Live.
This isn't very fun, by the way.
Be quiet. On the Zoom Live, sometimes I've been on Zoom Lives or Zooms where they bring up a screen that has the website listed on it.
Uh-huh.
Do you know how to do that?
Not yet, but I could. Okay. I mean, because I know that like you can do a thing where you can share the screen.
Right.
Yeah, I could. If I had it set up, I would do that. But I don't want to go over to my share screen right now because then everybody would see like my OnlyFans that I'm looking at or something like that.
The best fans.
There will be people that will get the OnlyFans joke.
I apologize to interrupt. I apologize for interrupting. You were talking about our website?
Yeah, dinnertabletalks.com. We also hope that you will like us and follow us on all the Insta and Facebook things. And then apparently, I don't really even know enough about how all the podcasts like interaction works. I'm learning all that part. Like the part where I talk to people, that part's easy. But the part where I actually have to make all the technological things work, that's all new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently if people like subscribe and make comments and do reviews and give you ratings, then that helps more people see you. So if you like, not just us, I mean, clearly you like us because we're very likable. But if you like the podcast and you find us mildly entertaining and somewhat informational, we hope you'll share and do all that fantastic stuff. And this test was very specifically for me to practice something that I will be launching on Monday after work time, about 5:30, a Voices for Wellness interview with Tim Tate. And I hope folks will tune in to that. And I'll make sure that there's access to the Dinner Table Talks folks of where that interview is happening at.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see you Monday morning for episode 47.
47.
Good.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Y'all have a nice night. Give us a second while we tune out of this thing and don't know exactly how we're doing that.